In 1883, a case was published in the British Medical Journal. A patient with severe non-healing leg ulcers, ulcers that had resisted every treatment available, was finally treated with a poultice made from one plant. The text reads, quote, "The effect in this most unhopeful case was decisive and plain to all. The ulcers were reduced to less than half their size within a month. That plant was Galium aperine, cleavers, a weed. It was in the King's American Dispensatory. It was prescribed by doctors. It was in medical textbooks. Then the pharmaceutical industry happened, and a plant that heals wounds, drains lymph, boosts killer cells, and kills cancer cells in a lab became something you spray with Roundup. Let me tell you what this plant actually is, because the more you learn, the angrier you're going to get. Galium aperine. Common names: cleavers, goosegrass, sticky willy, catchweed, bedstraw. It is a fast-growing annual herb with weak, sprawling stems up to a meter long, tiny green-white flowers, leaves in whorls of 6 to 8, and the entire plant, stems, leaves, seeds, is covered in stiff, hooked hairs that cling to everything they touch. Your clothes, your dog, your socks. You know this plant. You have pulled it off your trousers 1,000 times. You have ripped it out of your flower beds and thrown it in a bin. And every single time you did that, you threw away medicine. Here's the part your doctor was never taught. Your body has a system called the lymphatic system. It is a network of vessels and nodes that runs through your entire body, parallel to your blood vessels. Your body contains between 600 and 800 lymph nodes. They sit in your neck, your armpits, your groin, your abdomen, behind your knees, and throughout your chest. Their job: filter toxins, trap pathogens, transport white blood cells, and remove cellular waste. The lymphatic system is the backbone of your immune function. And here's the fact that changes everything. Your lymphatic system has no pump. Your heart pumps blood. Nothing pumps lymph. It moves only through muscle contraction, breathing, gravity, and body movement. When you're sedentary, it stalls. When it stalls, fluid accumulates, glands swell, toxins build up. Your immune response slows down. You bloat. You get sick more often. Your skin breaks out. Your energy crashes. And modern medicine's answer to this is either manual lymphatic drainage at $150 per session, compression garments at $60 to $200 a pair, or in severe cases, surgery. The annual cost of managing a chronic lymphatic issue in the United States ranges from $2,000 to $5,000 per patient. Now, for over 1,000 years, herbalists across Europe, Asia, and North Africa knew that one plant specifically moves lymph. Not generally, not vaguely, specifically. Cleavers is classified in herbal medicine as a primary lymphatic herb. It improves the movement and flow of lymph fluid through the body, reducing stagnation in the tissues. It enhances the removal of toxins. It reduces swelling in congested lymph nodes. It cools inflammation. And it does this whether you drink it as a tea, a cold infusion, a tincture, or a juice. This was not a secret. This was in the textbooks. The King's American Dispensatory, one of the most comprehensive medical references of the 19th century, listed cleavers as a treatment for tumors, dropsical complaints, skin afflictions, and non-healing wounds. Culpeper's Herbal recommended it for earache, colds, and blood purification. The British Herbal Pharmacopoeia, an official reference, includes a monograph on Galium aperine. This plant was mainstream medicine for centuries. Then it wasn't. Let me show you what the science says now, because the research they never funded, someone finally did. In 2016, a study published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology tested methanolic extracts of Galium aperine on human breast cancer cells. They tested it on 2 lines: MDA-MB231, which is triple-negative breast cancer, the most aggressive form, and MCF7, which is estrogen receptor-positive breast cancer. The results: the extract induced apoptosis, programmed cell death in the triple-negative cells. It induced necrosis in the estrogen receptor-positive cells. It caused cell cycle arrest after 72 hours. And here's the line that should be on every news channel on Earth. The extract was cytotoxic against cancer cells, yet spared normal healthy breast epithelial cells. It killed the cancer. It left healthy tissue alone. That is what a weed did in a laboratory. In 2020, a study analyzed the antioxidant capacity of Galium aperine extracts. The results showed significant radical scavenging activity, comparable to ascorbic acid. Vitamin C. The weed you pull out of your garden has antioxidant power comparable to the supplement you pay for at the pharmacy. In 2024, a peer-reviewed study published in the journal Nutrients tested Galium aperine water extract on immunosuppressed mice. The animals had their immune systems deliberately crushed with cyclophosphamide, a chemotherapy drug. Then they were given cleavers extract. The results: splenocyte proliferation, the activity of immune cells in the spleen, recovered to near normal levels. Natural killer cell activity, the cells your body uses to seek and destroy infected and cancerous cells, jumped from 29.6% in the immunosuppressed group to 46.6% in the group treated with cleavers. That is a 57% increase. Cytokine levels, TNF alpha, interleukin 6, interferon gamma, all recovered. Gene expression analysis identified 2,434 differentially expressed genes, many of them directly linked to immune enhancement, anti-cancer pathways, and phagocytosis. Let me say that again. A weed that you can pick with your hands from a ditch restored immune function in animals whose immune systems had been destroyed by chemotherapy. And that is only the immune system. Let me tell you what else this plant does. Cleavers is a soothing diuretic. It increases urine output gently, without the harshness of pharmaceutical diuretics. It is used by herbalists for cystitis, urinary tract infections, bladder inflammation, and benign prostatic hyperplasia. It works because it contains silica, which strengthens the mucous membranes of the urinary tract, and iridoid glycosides that reduce inflammation. Cleavers treats skin conditions, eczema, psoriasis, acne, chronic dry skin. Herbalists understand that many skin conditions are a result of poor elimination. When the liver, kidneys, and lymph system are overburdened, toxins exit through the skin. Cleavers supports all three elimination pathways simultaneously. It moves lymph, it flushes the kidneys, it assists the liver, and the skin clears, not because of a cream applied on the surface, but because the underlying congestion has been resolved. Cleavers supports the nervous system. Matthew Wood, one of the most respected modern herbalists, specifically lists cleavers for nervousness, sympathetic excess, skin irritability, and an unsettled feeling. It calms, it cools, it settles. And here is a fact that will make you put down your coffee for a moment. Galium aperine belongs to the Rubiaceae family, the coffee family. The roasted seeds of cleavers have been used for centuries as a coffee substitute. They contain caffeine. You can forage them for free, roast them, grind them, brew them, and drink a cup of coffee made from a plant that simultaneously drains your lymph, supports your kidneys, and provides antioxidant activity comparable to vitamin C for zero cost from your backyard. Now let me tell you how to use it. Because this is so simple, it is almost insulting. Cleavers is best used fresh. The plant has a high water content and loses much of its potency when dried. The season to harvest is spring, early to mid-spring, when the plant is young, green, and has not yet gone to seed. Method 1. Cold infusion. Pick a handful of fresh cleavers, chop them roughly, place them in a glass jar or jug of cold spring water or filtered water. Put the jar in the refrigerator for 24 to 48 hours. Strain. Drink freely throughout the day. It tastes clean, crisp, and faintly like cucumber. This is the gold standard preparation for cleavers and has been the primary method used by herbalists for centuries. Method 2, succus. Juice the fresh plant. Pour the juice into ice cube trays, freeze them, use 1 to 2 cubes per day in water or smoothies throughout the year. This preserves the medicine beyond the short spring harvest window. Dosage, 5 to 15 milligrams per day. Method 3, tincture. If you cannot access the fresh plant, a tincture made at a 1.5 ratio and 25% alcohol can be taken at 4 to 8 milliliters, 3 times a day. This is available from herbal suppliers for a fraction of the cost of lymphatic drainage supplements. Method 4. Smoothie. Add a sprig of young fresh cleavers into a blender with fruit, greens, and water. Build up gradually. The plant is edible and has been eaten as a pot herb for centuries. Blanched like spinach, wilted into soups, cooked into stews. Method 5. Coffee. Collect the mature brown seeds in late summer, dry them, roast them lightly, grind. Brew. Free coffee from a medicinal weed. That is it. No prescription, no appointment, no equipment, no cost. Now, this plant is native to Europe, North Africa, and temperate Asia, from Britain and the Canary Islands to Japan. It has naturalized across North America, South America, Australia, and parts of sub-Saharan Africa. It grows in every U.S. state except Hawaii. It grows in hedgerows, riverbanks, gardens, woodland edges, cultivated land, and waste ground. It is classified by the IUCN as least concern, meaning it is in no danger of extinction. There are no restrictions on picking it. It self-seeds aggressively. It grows without irrigation, without fertilizer, without any human input whatsoever. It is, by every definition, a weed. And that is exactly the problem. You cannot patent a weed. You cannot put a weed through a billion-dollar FDA drug approval process. You cannot charge $150 per hour for a weed that someone picks from a hedgerow. You cannot sell a weed in a pharmacy when it grows in the car park outside the pharmacy. The lymphedema treatment market alone is projected to reach over $1 billion by the early 2030s. The lymphatic drainage supplement market sells millions of bottles per year. The top-selling lymph support product on Amazon right now is a $39 bottle of tincture. If you read the ingredients, cleavers is the primary herb. You are paying $39 for a diluted extract of a plant you can pick for free, soak in water overnight, and drink in the morning. This is not an accident. This is a business model. The business model requires you to not know the name Galium aperine. It requires you to see this plant and think, weed. It requires your doctor to have never learned about it, because medical schools do not teach plants that cannot be patented and sold. It requires your school to have never mentioned it, because the curriculum was not written by herbalists. It was written in a century when the pharmaceutical industry was replacing every free remedy with a paid one. Cleavers was never banned. It was never made illegal. It was never proven dangerous. It has no known contraindications other than caution with pharmaceutical diuretics. It has been used safely for over 1,000 years. The IUCN says it is abundant. The British Herbal Pharmacopoeia gives it a monograph. Peer-reviewed studies confirm it kills cancer cells, boosts natural killer cells, restores immune function, and provides antioxidant activity comparable to vitamin C. And yet, the average person alive today has never heard its name. In 1883, a doctor used this plant to heal wounds that nothing else could touch. The medical text said the effect was decisive and plain to all. In 2016, scientists proved it kills breast cancer cells while leaving healthy cells unharmed. In 2024, researchers proved it restores immune function destroyed by chemotherapy. And in 2026, you still walk past it every day, you still call it a weed. The plant did not change. What changed is who decides what counts as medicine. And right now, that decision is not being made by the person who is sick. It is being made by the person who profits from the treatment. A weed that heals for free will never be prescribed in a system that only functions when you pay. This plant has been here the whole time, growing in your garden, clinging to your clothes, waiting for you to stop pulling it out and start putting it in water. Its name is cleavers, and the only reason you did not know is because nobody makes money when you do.